Indeed, 12 different women have won NHRA full throttle drag races, including Melanie Troxel in 2 categories, but only one has won a race in pro stock, and that woman, Erica Enders, joins us now live to talk about that. We welcome you to the show, and congratulations on a nice, I'll tell you what, let me give you a proper video introduction here. That was my bad. Hang on, Erica. We want to see the straight line racer who has come full circle. There it is. That's where I'm supposed to be. This is 2005 outside Chicago. Enders is the first female in an NHRA pro stock race to make the final round, but then there was this long career drought. Well, now she's back with her old team 2 weeks ago in Chicago, near lane. Pulls it off right at the finish over King Kong himself. That is Greg Anderson, the 4-time champion. With that, she becomes the first woman ever to win, and she leads is in the championship contention as we take a look at the standings. 5 races until the countdown for the championship. So now, with a proper introduction, my apologies for that, Erica. Welcome to the show. It was a long time coming. So how is life different now that you've won that first national?
I'll tell you, it was really exciting, but it's almost a relief to finally get that monkey off of our back and move on. It's something that we've worked really hard at for a lot of years, and it's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. So finally glad to get it done.
When you made that final round in Chicago back in '05 in Victor Cagnazzi's car, I would never expect that it would have taken so long to get the victory. But the next thing we knew, you were kind of low profile, pretty much disappeared in terms of results, but then came back with the same team and picked up right where you left off. How did that all come about? What was going on there?
Well, after leaving Victor's in '06, I went to drive for Don Schumacher Racing for the rest of that year, and my dad and I ventured out on our own and owned our own team, and sat out for a couple years due to lack of sponsorship, and was able to come back and drive a Ford for Cunningham. And finally, when we found the sponsorship, which a lot of work goes into putting that together, and we found one. And my first pick was to go back to Victor Cagnazzi, where I first started. He gave me the opportunity of a lifetime in 2004, and couldn't be more proud to be back with him.
That's pretty cool, and it's a great kind of a team pairing. You have 2 crew chiefs. One of them is Dave Conley. He's an excellent driver who only runs occasional races and otherwise works on your car. I wonder if there's something you get from having a winning pro stock driver as your crew chief that you might not get from someone who doesn't share that experience of being in the seat.
Well, I tell you, it's a big benefit to have him as my crew chief. He's a really good friend of mine. I trust him, and that's a huge aspect of it. It's one of the first times in my life that I've had a crew chief that I've trusted, and having him in my corner, knowing what I'm going through, being the tremendous driver that he is, and able to offer the advice when I need it, and he's got my back, and I'm excited to have him on board. We actually brought Tommy up back this year as well, so we've got 2 crew chiefs, and doing our best to capitalize on that and go out and win races.
I made the point earlier, although I exaggerated a little bit because I couldn't read the zeros, that pro stock drag racing may be the most competitive form of racing anywhere on the planet. I said the fields were covered by 7,000ths. It's actually 700ths of a second. They'll send home, a quarter of the cars that show up. And the 10 quickest and fastest passes in the division have happened in the last year and a half. So you've got this incredibly competitive field. I'm wondering why you jumped into that snake pit. Why did you want to become a pro stock racer rather than following all those other successful women into the nitro classes?
It was always my favorite class to watch. I loved, when I was a little kid, watching the in-car camera and seeing how challenging it was to drive the car and shift. And you have to be so accurate, so perfect to be able to get the car down the track. And like you said, a 16-car field is separated by 5, 6, 700ths of a second. And race day, we're winning and losing by thousandths of a second. So I love the fact that it was a true challenge to drive the car. And a lot of the weight and the pressure was on the driver to leave with the clutch and to shift on time. So absolutely love the challenge of pro stock, and wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So real quick, tell me what it's going to take to win this championship. You're in the hunt for the countdown. Can you pull this off?
It's Yeah, I have all the faith in the world in my guys. I'm confident in my driving ability, and we've got a great sponsor in Gaston Kirby, and just really excited to be in the position that we're in right now. I definitely think that we have a shot. We have as good a shot as anybody out there. I'm definitely hungry for it, and the guys know that I'm there. Just like I know that they're there. So it's going to take racing smart, and like you said, we have 5 races left to the countdown, and 6 races in the countdown. So we've just got to. It's got to be to the wall for the rest of the season and given everything that we got every week.
More of the celebration, the first woman ever to win a Pro Stock drag race. Congratulations again, Erica. Thank you very much for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Awesome, Dave. Thank you.
We're going to take a commercial break, come back on the other side, and find out what Robin thought was the most exciting race of the weekend. Stay tuned.